It's about time. How are we using our time? I began to think about this question when I looked out onto my classroom to my college students, and I felt that my time was slowly fading away. So think about how you used your time when you woke up or before you came into the theater today. This is how I saw my time. An amazing North Carolina photographer named Eric Pickersgill and fellow TED Talk presenter showed his piece called Removed.Social. These images are what I viewed my time as in my classroom. So maybe most of you don't spend your time in the classroom. Maybe it looks like this. Or put that at a local park or a coffee shop. Or maybe it's right at your kitchen table. Or maybe it's the last time that you looked at your ribs. So did those images seem all too familiar to you? Well, when I asked my students what they were doing with their time, they always said something that was a social media site. And social media was a huge part of their life. And I felt that it was about time that we looked about what we were doing with our time and that how social media was changing, engaging, and changing our form of communication. So I turned the camera onto my students and I asked them, how are you using your time?
I'm connected to social media maybe in total 2 hours out of the day. That's adding up all the seconds and minutes I'm looking at it here and there.
5 or 6 hours a day.
4 hours a day.
I don't think I can give an estimated number, but it is quite a lot of hours.
Maybe like 5 to 6 hours a day.
I'd say at least like 5.
Probably like 6 to 8 hours.
Probably go like 4 or 5 hours.
An hour just to look at stuff and just see a bunch of videos and then share them if I like them.
I probably spend 2 hours a day on social media.
About 3 hours maybe.
I would say not much, probably like 4 hours maybe.
5 hours a day.
Maybe like 2 hours. Maybe, I don't really count. I mean, I'm always like looking at my phone just out of habit.
So, what does social media mean to you? If we are spending so much time on social media, this changes how we interact with others and how we view body language. We are so used to connecting online that we don't really realize how we're connecting offline. Some of us forget that interaction with one another, and it's essential because it promotes a social connection, which is essential to communicating with our families and at our workplaces. And we've changed the art of communicating to the art of commenting, tweeting, snapping, and the list goes on and on. We've become to when we walk into a place of business or a doctor's office or a school, we ask the most important question that there is in the world today. Do you have free Wi-Fi? And if it's not, do you have free Wi-Fi? It's what's the password? So let's see what the perspective is on face-to-face communication. And I turned the cameras on to my students and asked them what they felt about how social media is changing their communication into face-to-face interaction.
I feel like one day social media will make face-to-face interaction obsolete.
Because everyone's always looking down at their phone. They're just not paying attention to what's going on around them. If they're hanging out with friends, you always see a bunch of people, like 4 people sitting at a table, and they're all just buried in their phones.
I've always been a shy kid, but when it comes to social media and my phone, it even gives me more of a out whenever I'm in a situation faced with someone trying to talk to me.
It makes people like just more robotic.
It's like you have to check Instagram every 5 seconds, Twitter every 5 seconds, which I realize is sort of making everyone antisocial.
There's much less person-to-person interaction.
I guess you spend too much time on it, so you can't really get to spend time with your live friends, the ones that are here outside.
We have the opportunity to share, recommend, communicate with people we never thought we could. Think about it, how easy it is to just do that. It has become effortless. Many of my students are content creators, and they share their work online. And how amazing is social media to connect us with places and marketplaces we never thought we could. For young artists and entrepreneurs, social media is a place to flourish. So, community. For some of us, that cell phone in our hand or that tablet or our laptop, it's more enticing than where we are at the moment. Think about how many of you have looked at your devices since this started. It's so enticing just to pull it out to snap, chat, or post. And even the office water cooler has become a faceless enterprise. So we're so powerful. Just 140 words away, 140 characters away from sharing, posting, tweeting, work, celebrity dirt, news, escaping from work, and the list goes on and on. So information. Social media provides us information. I listened to a local news anchor came to the school to talk to my students about what some of the most important things he was looking for students in the film industry. And he said internships were a huge ordeal. He received 200 resumes a week. He said he has his assistant go through all these resumes, and he says if there's anything inappropriate on any social media sites, he throws the resume to the side. And at the end of the week, he may have 2 to 4 resumes left. That spoke volumes to me about the information that is out there that we really just don't realize, that we become so faceless behind our small devices. We don't realize who's looking at this information and what's out there. So access. Not only can we gain information, who has access to this information? There's an amazing company called EchoSec in Canada, and I use their tool. They do digital online footprinting, and it's real-time actionable intelligence. So I use this tool in my classes when we talk about the impact of social media. I use a handful of students with their names or their hashtags or their online Twitter names, and it's really amazing what they see that is out there about themselves that they didn't realize that anyone had access to. So let's take a quick glimpse at what you can see. On the first slide, I did a location-based search with the school that I teach at, which is Rowan College of Burlington County in Mount Laurel. I did a search, just that address. So anybody that's connected along that location and was tagged in any radius that I choose, I could see who has been on a plethora of platforms of social media. I then decided to do a keyword search on the actual name. This could be a name of anything that you want to search. And I could see where everybody was geotagged and looked at. I then could go and do a general hashtag search across many different social media sites. Here, I used our own TEDxCooperRiverWomen hashtag. So it's pretty amazing what information we have out there. Some of us have our whole lives out there because to some, social media is our life. Social media maintains about 45% in forming new relationships. I mean, let's raise our hands. How many people are friends with a friend from high school or childhood that they never would before? So social media can be a group therapy session, and for some, social media is a lifeline. Let's just take a look at what the students say about what social media means to them.
Social media is utter chaos.
To bring new information and people together.
It's another world, really. It's a crutch for some.
To show an image of who I am.
Definitely easier to spread misinformation or definitely bullying.
Gaining information, learning about different topics.
Just entertainment. It's entertainment.
It brings you closer to all your friends and family.
It's fun. I get to communicate with all my friends and discover new things around the world.
A shouting match between people clawing to get to the top.
Is an addiction to learning. You want to learn about what your friends are doing, what your family's doing, what's going on in the news,
You can always learn something new with social media.
Keeps me socialized. A false reality of who people really are.
Where I can express myself for who I really am.
It's just a good way to look like a darn fool online.
I feel like it is more of the new coming of age type of newspaper.
I get to share my side of like the story, I guess, my life through a picture or a video.
You live on social media, you survive on it.
So once we've consumed ourselves with being hyper-connected, we're literally sleeping, eating, and breathing social media. And I use the term eating because the last time I walked around Costco, this is what I saw. A bag of milk chocolate, Belgian chocolate hashtags. Hashtag yummy. So social media has revolutionized the way we communicate, and we will continue to grow with the accessibility that we have by leaps and bounds. So let me ask all of you to take out your device, however you connect, because we're all connected. And I want you to share your ideas, because they're worth spreading, as Ted says. And I want you to use the hashtag #SocialMediaIs and share your thoughts on what social media means to each and every one of you. Thank you.